WTF-DFW, episode 13. It was a relatively interesting week last week, so a lot was going on. But we did talk about personality, whether or not you bring in, I guess, bring it good around you, positive fun, good vibes. We were talking about whether or not a personality of a musician on stage shines through. And ironically, like the first big band that played this weekend, we had that, big show on Saturday night over at Fat Daddy's with Love to Hate, The Lonely One, Scotty Austin, and the Arena Rock Show. The first band that came up there, this guy, I met him afterwards. He was their drummer. His name's Rob, and the guy couldn't stay in his seat, and he's up there and he's so into it. And he's, I talked to him afterwards. I said, it's ironic. You're over here, and this is what we were talking about in last week's podcast. And I said, you just couldn't stay seated. He said, basically, even if they strapped him down, he'd figure out a way to get up and move around. So it was just that personality was visible from the minute the first band went on this week. And then, obviously, Scotty, Austin, he's everywhere. I said to my buddy, during the show, I said, I wish I had that level of, not even just confidence, but, I don't give a, attitude. He was just out there. He was engaging everybody, kept saying, if you're not coming up to the stage, I'm going out to you. And he spent as much time singing to people out at the tables that was seated. But that, it was just his personality shined through. The guitarist of the band, the Lonely Ones, they were like a cross between, I guess, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, and just that 70s persona. It was a weird vibe, but the vibe of that guitarist on stage, you could just tell he was so into it. He was having fun. He had these quirky little motions, everything, but even after Scotty was done, he and his wife, Courtney, hanging out. It's just amazing. Some people are just, and I realized it this weekend, are just so kind, and they're just fun to be around, talk, and associate with, and just seemingly have fun in life. And I kind of touched on it a little bit last week, saying, do you have a personality that draws people in and wants to be engaged with you, have fun, talk, joke around, or are you just, an asshole? And I love it, and I kept thinking about it this week, and I'm just surrounded by such good people, and I get to meet such great people in this industry, and not just, at Fat Daddy's and dealing with the bands, but, things that go on at Thompson's, at the gun stores, all the people that work for us. So it's just, personality, how important it is, and I absolutely love it. But it was a good week. Live band karaoke again last Wednesday. Still the one, the Shania tribute was out there. I believe it was our last show on Thursday, and somebody else is going to be taking over for them. The Dolan band from Burleson, Andrew Dolan, his band was out there on Friday night. And then, again, like I said, that big show was last Sunday or last Saturday with Scotty Austin, the Arena Rock Show, Lonely Ones and Love to Hate. Again, the place was packed. It was such a great show. It's weird watching that first band go on when it's still light outside. And that's when Brian and I were like, can we put something over the windows to at least make it look like, it's still night? But it was just a great, great crowd. And by the time the Arena Rock Show went on, you can look at the videos. The dance floor was packed. Everybody was having a good time. So anybody who came out last week to support us over at Fat Daddy's, thank you. It was just another great week of performances out there. So this week, I guess I started thinking about it, and I have a quote that I keep on my computer all the time, and it says, if you're persistent, you'll get it. If you're consistent, you'll keep it. And then I'm starting thinking about the word consistency and really how important consistency is to, I guess, to sustainability and anything that you're doing. So, people that know me know, I'm into fitness. I'm not like fitness in my mouth, but I'm working out, yeah. And consistency is really the key to not only getting to where you want to be. If you're trying to be big, if you're trying to lose weight, get cut, whatever it is, consistency is important, And I'm not saying you have to be a gym rat and be in a gym, 6 days a week, but you have to be consistent with putting in the work. And, that's just with fitness and even with, your meals. Just be consistent. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's always going to get to where they want to be by being perfect. The meal plan that I was on when I was, cutting, I guess 2 years ago, got me down to really low single digit, body fat percentage. But the thing that he most important made me do was at least have a cheat meal once a week, and one day just not go overboard, but don't care about the meal plan. And it was kind of cool. Now, I did that, while I was still, drinking quite frequently. I didn't tell him I was drinking beer, but I guess the results were still there because I was consistent. And, as long as you're putting in the work, you're going to achieve the results. So if you're persistent, you're going to get there. If you're consistent, you'll keep it. And then I think in terms of even, more recently, I started taking guitar lessons again. And, I practice a lot, at least once a day. I'm grabbing the guitar, while I'm sitting there watching TV or, get done eating dinner. It's right next to me on the couch. I know it drives my wife nuts, but it's out there. And what I like most is, once a week I go to my lessons and my instructor's like, you're making progress every week. You could tell you're practicing and you tell you're putting into work because whatever, quote unquote, my homework is from the week before, I bring it back and I got it, and it's just a consistent with practicing, and it feels good to be able to do that again and to feel that, I guess that motivation behind it. Think in terms of, musicians and band practice, whether or not, you're putting into work. I don't care if you're a seasoned band. I don't care if you're a new band starting out. You're veterans. You've been playing together forever. Are you putting in that consistent work to practice and work on improving? And again, I don't care how good you are, there's always a chance to improve on everything that you're doing. Nobody's perfect out there, and if you think you are, you're going to fail. So I guess that's probably, one of the things as a musician. Are you putting into work? Are you, working to tighten up the performance? Are you working on your stage presence? The quality of what you're putting on out there. Are you recruiting fans, and are you consistent with the attendance to your shows, bringing people on, keeping them engaged? And then if you are at least a period of time putting into work and drawing people in and getting there, what are you doing to keep those people? I did mention last week there are some bands now that apparently are going through the motion, and you could see them up on stage. They look a little bit beaten down, like the world has gotten to them a little bit, and they almost come across as, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm going to collect my money. Well, when that happens, your, guests at the show, they're not dumb. They could see that, and they want to go support somebody who's having a good time and enjoying themselves and putting in the work and appreciating them for being there. And then, like, again, this weekend, I talk about Scotty Austin. He's just a great guy. He's phenomenal. I've known him for years, and, it was ironic. He showed me this week. It was a 9-year anniversary when Saving Abel came out to Fat Daddies for the first time, and he's been coming back, pretty much annually over the last 9 years, but I just watch him after he's on stage, and he's out there talking to people, engaging with people, taking pictures, supporting the other bands that are out there. And he's just a good person to be around, but he's putting in the work consistently to draw people in, make sure they feel welcome, make sure they want to come back to his next shows, and they're just drawn to his personality. He could very easily at this point just get off the stage, go into the green room, and pack up and leave. But that's not going to draw people to come back. So if you're a band out there and you feel like you're going through the motions, maybe tighten up a little bit. Maybe think about what brought you in to playing live music, the joy that you had, if you had any at all. I'm assuming at some point everybody did. That's why, people like playing music, getting up on stage, and it's not just about stroking the ego up there, but appreciating your fans, doing everything you have to do to tighten up, put into work, be consistent with the work to make yourself better at what you do. And that's, in your personal lives, that's in relationships, that's whether or not you're a gym rat, you're getting into fitness. I love January is when they roll around. I know a lot of people, can't stand it because that's when a lot of the, I guess the amateurs or rookies are in gym. That motivates me. I love seeing new people go into the gym starting off the new year, and I hope that they're consistent enough to hit their goals because they have that desire at one point. Well, my thought is always don't give up. Stay with it. It doesn't matter if it's only 2 days a week or 3 days a week. Stay consistent. And at work, stay consistent. It's tough. We get it. Face it. Reality, it's hard to find the motivation to keep consistent at something. It's hard for me to be able to find that time every day to get to the gym, to be able to put in the work, playing guitar and practicing and all of that. But I have a goal to try to get better. I have a goal by end of year to be able to understand, recording and be able to sit down and start, writing some of my own music and recording some of my stuff. But that's my own personal goals that I set for myself, for the year. No, it wasn't a resolution, but it's just something that kind of popped into my head a couple of months ago that I'm like, what, this is my goal, but I'm going to put in the work to be able to, be persistent enough to get there and then be consistent in what I do. So if same thing with these bands that are out there playing, be consistent. That's all I can ask. And, put in the work consistently, work to get better, and it'll show. Don't let those daily struggles, the changes to your routines, those, unseen medical issues or emergencies stop you from where you're going to, or where you want to get to. And again, it could delay you in the gym for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, while you're recovering, while you're getting better. The point is, are you getting back? Are you staying consistent? And your body responds. And muscle memory, even playing guitar and all, it is kind of cool because a lot of what I'm doing now, like my, fingers are starting to remember some of the stuff that they're supposed to do. And it's just putting in that work, and then that muscle memory kind of helps you through it and all. So that was really my thought just for this week, was about, persistency and consistency and what it takes to get there and what it means once you do get there to continue to put in the work to always try to get just a little bit better, get a little bit tighter, get a little bit more, give a little bit more to your audience so that they give back to you and they show up to your shows, they support the venues that you're playing at, that they're, helping keep this whole live music industry alive. So with that said, this week we got live band karaoke. Tonight, it is Wednesday that we're recording this. Tomorrow night, final countdown. Finally, I think I might be able to get to see them. They're the ones that I had to rush back from a show in Dallas to try to see the last time they played at Fat Daddy's. And as I pulled up, they just finished their last song. So hopefully I'll be able to see Russell and all of them tomorrow night. They're an exciting band. I've heard nothing but great things about them. Friday night, King George is playing with Justin Myers. And Justin Myers is, he used to play a lot with us from an acoustic perspective on patios over at Mama Angie's when that was still open. He has played a couple of shows at Fat Daddy's for us. I'm looking forward to seeing him out there with his full band, opening up for King George. King George brings it, tribute to George Strait every week. So that's always a great show. Saturday night, we have a band called Vital Signs. Their first time playing at Fat Daddy's, but it's a tribute to the band Survivor. And, they are more than just that, Rocky theme, Eye of the Tiger. And in fact, I wouldn't be mad if they didn't play that song and just focused on all of the other stuff that they play. But Vital Signs is opening up.
That's a good song.
If that doesn't get you energized, though, I don't know what could get you ready for the gym if that's what you need to motivate you to get there.
Punch somebody in the face.
It doesn't take much for me to want to punch somebody in the face sometimes, but that's a whole other conversation. But Survivor, Tribute, Vital Signs is opening up for the Dallas-Boston experience, and that's incredible. What great musicians in DBX. So that's Saturday night at Fat Daddy's. I think downbeat for that one will be 8 o'clock with two bands playing. So come on out Saturday night for that. Same thing as 8 p.m. for King George with Justin Myers. Don't forget Sunday. It's the second Sunday of every month, and that means rock stars of Mansfield and Frisco. We partner with them to be able to do a little live music on a Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And these are kids that are just starting their journey in the music business. Some of them have only been playing together for a couple of months, some of them for a year, year and a half, 2 years. Most important is these are all kids, and, they could be as young as 5, 6 years old, just starting out, all the way up to 16, 17, 18 years old. So this weekend on Sunday, we have the Myers. They have played before for us, cute kids. I think all three of them in the same family. But they'll play for a couple of songs. A band called Black Lotus. I've never heard them. I don't even know what type of music that they play. They'll be playing out there, and a band called Liar Liar. And I remember singing Liar Liar, a couple of their songs, while they were at the grand opening for Rock Stars of Tomorrow Mansfield a few weeks back. So great group of talented kids. And I remember Liar Liar, the drummer stood out to me. He was kind of fun to watch. He had this little arrogance about him that it was kind of funny to see at such a young age, but he's a talented drummer. And the band is pretty good, so come on out, please. I don't care if you're a local musician, if you're just in the neighborhood. These kids are trying to hone their skills. Come out and support them. Have some lunch with us, have a couple of drinks, and just, show these kids, some support. 1 o'clock on Sunday, there's no cover. You have no reason, it is a Sunday. Church and all of that stuff is over for most people by then. It's not Easter, so come on out and support. There was 3 bands and rock stars of tomorrow Mansfield. Next week we have live band karaoke on Wednesday, obviously with Shannon Cobb again. Honcho the band on Thursday, so that's back-to-back Chi for you, playing on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, Iconic returns, and everybody knows I talk about them. They are so incredibly talented, so much fun. They play. The video screen is behind them while they're playing along to the song, matching either the video from the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. They play anything from hip-hop to pop to rock, classic rock. It doesn't matter. They are so much fun, but they're playing next Friday out there. And then on Saturday night is Back in Time is playing, which is a Huey Lewis tribute. I think this is one of their last big shows that they have. They're losing a couple of band members that are moving on in their musical careers, but a Huey Lewis tribute with the band Empires opening up for them. And Empires, they actually are in a couple of different bands. They do a couple of different genres of music, but I think his name is Bishop Booker is the singer. He asked, hey, do you want us to do our cover rock band or originals? And I said I'd prefer originals. So Empires, I've heard some great things about them. I've heard some history about them with some previous record deals and all, but I'm really looking forward to be able to see what they bring. I've heard nothing but great things about Bishop and the talent that he has, his entertainment as a frontman in his other bands. I can only imagine what he's going to bring to the stage next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday from there. Don't forget, Wednesday nights is Sinistry nights at Fat Daddy's as well. All day we're doing this industry, so if you're in the service industry, keep an eye on our posts. It's all day on Wednesdays, and I believe on Friday and Saturday nights now from midnight to 2 a.m., you in the service industry, if you have your industry card, come on out, and we have specials for you, drink and food specials for you all night on Friday and Saturday, not all night, from midnight to 2 a.m., Friday and Saturday nights. Also, just, public service announcement for Fat Daddy's on Monday night coming up the 15th. We're actually going to be closing at 6 p.m. We have a system upgrade going in for all of our tablets and everything that we've been working hard on for the past, we've been working hard on for the past couple of weeks or months, upgrading our computer systems, our point of sale systems, the menus in there, the servers, bartenders, staff, they'll all be on tablets now, so there'll be no need for them to be leaving their section so that they could just be engaged with the tables. It'll improve our service capability, so that's the last of some of our big upgrades, but that'll be Monday night closing at 6 p.m. Don't forget at Thompson's. Come on out. It's kind of interesting. I don't think people realize, what we do out there. Again, we have the cigar lounge on the 3rd floor and a private event center on the 2nd floor, our bookstore level, and then the speakeasy in the basement. And all of them are available to rent for parties, whether or not it's a partial reservation, a full floor reservation, or you're buying out the entire venue. And last night we had a pretty big event out there on the bookstore or in the speakeasy level. Tonight a group is coming in this afternoon. The bookstore is going to be closed from, I think until like 7:30.
Last night it was too, I think.
Yeah. And then after that one, there's another huge event happening down at the speakeasy where that's going to be closed to the public from, until about 11:30, but 2 huge parties that are going to be out there renting those floors. So,
but when that happens, other parts of the building are still open, like the cigar lounge or something.
Yeah. So like tonight, the cigar lounge will be open for you. It's not, it's just full floor rentals during the time period of these parties on the bookstore and then the speakeasy again tonight. But like last night, the speakeasy was packed. Private party was closed, but the bookstore, you're right, and the cigar lounge was still open. But I think on April 30th, somebody actually bought out the entire building. So all 4 floors, a company's coming in, they rented the entire building. That is an option as well. It's going to be on a Tuesday.
It's a big company, too.
That's a big deal out there. So
cool company. I don't know if we're allowed to say.
Yeah, I don't like yeah. It is an option for you to, come out and just reserve a portion of a floor, a full floor. So give us a call over at Thompson's and, book your parties out there, whether or not it's a birthday gathering, showers, engagement parties, rehearsal dinners, whatever it is, we could accommodate you over. So I'm looking forward to, being able to host your events out there. And I haven't had anybody that came back after that and said it was a horrible experience. It's worked out pretty well, and we also have catering options available. So if you want to come in and rent a part of the floor or rent the event center for a couple of hours for your event, we partner with a place like the Riata where you could go and they'll offer you deals to cater your event for you. So we are full service with what we can offer for you over there, and it's a beautiful venue. So 900 Houston Street in Fort Worth, downtown Fort Worth. That's on Houston and 8th Street, right next to the big building that blew up. Should be pretty easy to find. Don't forget Marksman. We still have our gun of the month going on. Colleen's got a Winchester SXP Defender shotgun in 12 or 20 gauge. Granbury's got an HK VP9 with a red dot on it as well. Wichita Falls got a Chris Vector 45 ACP rifle, and I think Mansfield's got an Anderson Patriot 5.56. All of them are available in all of the locations, so we could transfer a gun from one location to another if one of them but interests you. But look at the guns. It's on marksmanfirearms.com. You can see the gun of the month specials that are up there and see whether or not one of those are what interests you. Also, just a reminder, all of our gun stores now partner with Thompson Cigar Lounge, and Thompson Cigar Lounge does sell 10, 11 different brand cigars in our gun stores for you. So while you're in there grabbing some ammo, grab a Monty, a Romeo and Juliet, an H. Upman, one of those, My Father cigar. We do have a couple of options for you there, but pretty popular brands. And you'll see the pricing is comparable to any other place that you go to. We're not stroking on anything. We're actually limited in how much we're allowed to charge for everybody is. Doesn't matter if they're, you're a cigar lounge, a bar, anything. You're limited to a plus or minus 10%, I believe, on most of the cigars from the manufacturer that you're allowed to charge. So you'll see us pretty consistent with any other cigar lounge or cigar store that's out there. So pop into Marksman and feel free to support your cigar habits. And then don't forget, construction is happening on Capone's Drink Easy and Sports Bar in Burleson. So our plan is to still hopefully be open by end of year. But be on the lookout. Follow us on Facebook page. Capone's, I think we're up to, what are we at, 7,000?
7,000.
7,000 followers right now on Capone, so the word is getting out there. Go ahead, be one of those people to like us. Same thing, like the Facebook page for WTF.
No, I'll go back. I think it's around 4,000 for Capone's, 7,000 for WTF.
Oh, yeah, so that's right. So 4,000 people on Capone's. WTF-DFW Facebook page has got 7,000 followers right now. So going out there, follow us. You'll see our podcast posted over there as well. Fat Daddies, like us, follow us. If you're not following us, I don't know what you're doing in this area here, because we've been around for going on 15, almost 16 years, I believe. So follow us to check out all our events coming up. Most of them are posted through most of the year so that you can plan your parties and all with us. So other than that, hope everybody has a great week. Hope to see you out at Fat Daddy's or at a gun store, maybe even over at Thompson's at some point during the week. But with that said, I appreciate you listening. Have a great day. Peace.